Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back. Okay, I'm going to try a new thing. And you can put your mics on if you want to, or you can just raise your hand and I will ask you. Our time to go specifically through this manual word for word is very limited. You've got the manual. You can read. All of you can read. Who wants me to have an open discussion? You ask questions, I answer on module 3 and 4 about insurance and professional life skills. Let's quickly see who prefer an open class discussion. Can I see hands or people just open up their mics and just let me know.
Good day, ma'am. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Good, thank you. I think if you can just give us a quick introduction again to the differences of PI cover and the professional.
Indemnity insurance.
Yes, just a quick rundown again, and then I suppose we can ask questions.
Okay.
I don't know how the others feel.
Okay, great. What I'm going to do, I'm quickly going to remember with the Fidelity Fund and that specifically, we will do in the next week. This is just short for the insurance on personal insurance and all that. I will quickly have a rundown on that. And then I will go through the professional life skills, and then I'm going to open the floor for people with suggestions and questions and all that.
Perfect.
Okay, who am I speaking to now?
Alandi.
Alandi, thanks a lot. All the people, you're more than welcome to raise your hand and we can quickly have a chat. Okay, let's go to insurance. First of all, we get the professional indemnity insurance. This is cover for misappropriation of trust funds. This means your professional indemnity insurance means your firm and each staff member working in your firm are covered. When you complete your professional indemnity insurance, Glenrand, there's a lot. Then they ask, who is the people in your office that have access to money? Not literally rand to rand in your hand, but who work with where they can actually do some transfer money to their own personal account or whatever. You put on that names there, and whenever you found a vicious person like that steal money, then at least the firm is covered. Remember, your normal Fidelity Fund certificate don't cover any theft by a staff member. It only covers theft by an attorney. Your professional indemnity insurance also tell you, if I've got a complaint about the professional way that you've done, I feel you didn't do your best and therefore I lost my case, you were lazy and you didn't want to work, then I can claim from your professional indemnity insurance. It's everything to do with the profession, nothing to do with attorney stealing trust money. Yes, that as well, but it also cover your if you've done something. If I've got a massive interest claim against me, I didn't steal money, but I've, in a way, the attorney handle the matter like that there's a massive interest claim. Then they claim from the professional indemnity insurance. Fidelity Fund don't even want to listen to stuff like that. your misappropriation of trust funds, anybody including the attorney that misappropriate any trust funds, either by mistake or with malice, but it's covered. Then you've got your professional indemnity cover for cybercrime. And this is one of the things that people always exclude because, we know we're not going to click on a link. Believe me, you're going to click on a link at one stage. Working in a department that, for instance, I work with the finances. I get so many emails that say outstanding invoice. Now that is my work. I work with invoices. I need to pay invoices. I'm going to open it. But we've learned over the time, if it's something that needs to be downloaded or you look on, you have to look at on the website, on the web, that it's a web address, you don't open it. If it's PDF, it's kind of safe. But then you look at the email address and see if it's somebody that you know. I think there was some people that we owe money and I just delete the invoice because I don't know who they are. I don't know where they come from. Then I just delete the invoice. I don't even open it. Now, your cybercrime, more and more it happened. Sometime last year, I think, one of the big firms in South Africa lost a case in the High Court with a conveyancing matter where an email of a staff member were intercepted and the money, the proceeds of that transaction was paid over to somebody that is not the seller of the property. And this firm got judgment against them. They had to pay, and it was a couple of millions. I'm not sure how much, but it was in the millions. So cybercrime is really, if they've got cybercrime, they can then claim the money back from their cybercrime, a part of the insurance. If you don't have it, then you have to pay it out of your pocket. And who's got that kind of money to pay something out of their pocket? And they so quick, these criminals, you send an email. In that few seconds that the email go to that person and say, what's your banking details? They intercept the email, change the banking details, and send it through. You get the banking details and you pay the money over. It is a really big thing. We will talk when we talk about handling of trust money, how important it is to have your documentation correct when you pay money over. But that is your professional indemnity insurance. Then you get your office insurance. That's everything that moves. We talk about short-term insurance, everything with a short lifespan. Your copier, your printer, your vehicles, anything in your office, computers, cell phones, the office cell phones need to be insured. If you do a purchase hire of your big Canon machine that is 400,000, they insist that you've got insurance for lightning strike, because I don't think somebody will just walk into your office and steal that copier because they're extremely heavy. But at least you're covered for damage and for lightning strike and water floods. That nowadays, if you listen to the news, anything is possible, because it seems that Mother Nature is angry at everybody. Everybody's got floods, and it is earthquakes and tsunamis and everywhere. Okay, but your office insurance is something that you need to manage properly. You need to double check it every 3 months, because in 3 months, one computer just completely shut down and you need to throw it away. buy a new one, and if you don't insure the new one and something happened and you claim, they ask, what is the serial number? You give the serial number. They say, sorry, it's not. Yeah, but it was a replacement of the other one. Sorry. Remember, insurance is not there to help you to pay out. They're there to see how they can block you from a payout. So double check your office insurance. If it's current, every 3 months, ask a printout from the insurer or the person that is your contact at the insurance company. Go through it, see if everything is updated. Numerous times I've seen people, when they look at the insurance, there's still cell phones or computers from 10 years ago. Even previous vehicles that was sold were still up there. And in the meantime, you pay insurance for it. So you need to make sure that your office insurance is updated every 3 months. Just check it. If it's all okay, that's fine. If there's any changes, that you can do it as quickly as possible. Then we look at life insurance. That's your insurance with a long lifespan on somebody's life. Now, why do we need life insurance? We call it key man insurance. Now, it's usually just the directors. There is firms that include key staff in their office. If directors work together, now they've got a company and they work, and they each one specialize in a certain field, and one person pass away, you're not going to have a new director the next week or the next month. It will take time to get a director with the same skills that fit in your company, with your look and feel, and fit in the family. So it can take anything from 1 year to 2 years to replace a director. So it's always important to have key man insurance for that person that specializes in a specific field, so that should that person pass away, that you at least can cover till you've got somebody that can take that work over and start working on it and earn income for the firm. I've seen a lot of firms with key man insurance, and when usually it's your senior partner, because the senior partner is the oldest, and that person passes away, and they sit there, and suddenly you lost the income of a partner. The partner write fees, maybe 500, maybe 900,000 a month, and suddenly that person is gone. Who is going to get that money in while you're searching for a new director? That is why it's so important to have key man insurance, especially if you specialize in a specific field. Just think about, I've got a director, say, for instance, that specializes in maritime law. How many attorneys in South Africa is there that specialize in maritime law? I'm going to battle for 3 years to get a director to replace my director that's doing maritime law. Our directors specialize in developments, and not only transfer of the new developments. She actually do the technical work behind a development. There isn't a lot of people that do that. That is our biggest income. Should she fall away, what are we going to do? Then gone. That is why you need key man insurance. Now, this is in short, just the insurance. The insurance for your fidelity go into detail in the next module, and then we will look at that. Okay, let's talk about your personal life skills. First of all, every employer and every office will pose their own challenges for employees. There are various reasons for that challenges, such as the nature of the work, the employees is expected to perform, challenges in the employee's job description, the office layout, moving of offices. Somebody that wants to say something? Okay, there we meet it. Okay, and then everything to do with in our office. Just look at your household. It's you and your parents, or you and a husband, or you and a husband and kids. How many fights are there from time to time? Now you take people that don't even know each other and you put them in one office, and you think everybody every day is going to be just a look and smell like roses. No, it's not going to happen. First of all, we need to understand time management. I've got a specific webinar where I go into detail with time management. How do you manage time in your day? Because each one of you working in a law firm sit every day, or let's say at least twice a week, that say, I don't have enough time to do all my work. There's people that say it on a daily basis. I never heard of somebody working in a law firm and say, I'm so bored, I don't know what to do with myself. Then you're not in a law firm. Because of the kind of work that we do, you always got a challenge with your time management. If you manage your time properly, you will find that it takes a lot of stress off you when you manage your time. And part of time management, you need to determine what time wasters do you have. Just think about what is your biggest time waster that you've got. The receptionist put calls through to you and you haven't got a clue who deals with this matter. Sometimes you get receptionists, just because you're friendly, they put all the calls through to you. A time waster, you've got a staff member in the office that like to chat to everybody, walk around and chat to everybody. And you're so busy, you really, while she or he is talking, you start and you type, but they don't get the hint and say, oh, you're busy. How do you deal with that time wasters that is in your office? Think about yourself. What time wasters you experience in the office. Then managing conflict. There will be conflict in a firm. Just as you and your siblings were fighting, just like you and your children to each other are fighting, there's conflict in a law firm as well. But how do you deal with that conflict? Do you just walk in and say, now you stop your nonsense? Or what do? You need to manage conflict, because if you walk in and you just tell them to stop it now, it will come to the surface again. You need to resolve that conflict. Otherwise, it will come back again and again, and you will get people that resign because of that. There is a unhappy feeling in the office. You will start hating going to the office because of the tension in the office. So to manage conflict is extremely important. Then manage change. Any change in our life is a big thing. If you move house, it is as good as you go through a divorce. The stress about moving a house Now you know how stressful it is for people that buy a property that haven't got a clue about conveyancing. How stressful is it for them? At least you've got a knowledge of conveyancing. There is way back, and even now with the economy in South Africa, people are really battling, and they need to retrench people. That stress in how do you manage it so that you can get to the other side in one piece and not fall to pieces? You need to manage that change in your office. Then how do we manage stress? Before I go on, any one of you, can you tell me you don't have stress in the office? Anybody? Anybody? I thought so. Working where you are working, you will have stress. That's part of your life. But you get good stress and you get bad stress. Good stress, I'm addicted to stress. I need stress. I need to have 50 things on my desk and that I feel I'm going to drown and I'm all stressed out. I love that. If I don't have stress, I'm going to look for stress. That is good stress. It gives you that high in your life that when you accomplish something under stress, I've done it. That was good. That is good stress. But the bad stress is when you get so stressed that you eventually get depression. And that is bad. It's bad for your health. It's bad for your people that you're working with, and it's bad for your family. So if you manage your stress correctly and work on the good stress and try to manage the bad stress that it don't overwhelm you, then at least you will be able to cope. And a lot of people tell me, yeah, but stress is so bad. I can't take it anymore. You need to make yourself stress proof. Tell yourself, I can take that kind of stress. I'm equipped to do that. I'm strong. Bring it on. I can do it. Manage your stress properly. Assertiveness. You will get the people, you all think back when you were in school, that quiet little person, especially in primary school, and when somebody look at that person, he or she start crying and say, Mommy, the people are looking at me, the children look at me. That is a very passive behavior, and they're usually prone to bullies. Bullies will always look for somebody like that. Then you get your aggressive, and that is that bully nature, where you're always aggressive about something. Everything that you do aggressive. It will tire you if you work like that. Assertiveness, be awake, see what's going on, choose your weapons, make sure that whatever you do, you rethink everything. Don't go and just do something every minute, anything can happen, and just like a drop of a knife, you're angry. That's not good. Manage yourself, your emotions. And that assertiveness, just look at how many people, how many friends do you have that you walk by and say, oh, you've got nice shoes on, and they say, it's an old pair. And you know it's not an old pair. People can't take a compliment. Instead of just saying, yes, isn't it nice? They kind of downgrade it and say, yeah, it's an old pair, or a blouse. Oh, you've got a pretty blouse on. And they say, it's an old blouse. And you've seen that blouse in the shop front. So it's a brand new blouse. To be assertive is to be able to accept compliments. with ease and give compliments. Who of you, ladies and gentlemen, can ladies give a gentleman a compliment and not worried that, what is he going to think? Or the gentleman giving a compliment to a lady and think, okay, now she thinks I'm hitting on her. If you're confident in yourself, that assertiveness that you've got, you can accept a compliment as a compliment and not think, oh dear, this guy's hitting on me. This is something that you really need to work on to be assertive. And then the administrative relationship with staff and management. Your relationship, if there's always tension and always fights, it will drag you down and you will start getting depression. You need to have a good relationship, and the biggest thing that causes unhappiness is backstabbing. Somebody tell you something, you tell it to another person, and they run and they're going to tell the boss. Don't do that. Don't double dip. Don't tell one thing to the one person and one thing to the other person. Whatever you tell, just tell the truth. And don't talk behind people's back. If you can't say something nice about somebody, keep quiet. Why do you want to say bad things about somebody? And it will make you the odd one out. You think you're brave and you can tell whatever you like, and people laugh at you when you tell these funny stories about the other staff members. But behind your back, you always think, I won't trust that person because the whole office will know whenever I tell that person something. Make sure that you've got a good relationship with your staff members. And then lastly, our teamwork. Teamwork is extremely, extremely important. If you don't have a good teamwork, you will battle with time management. If there's no teamwork, there will be conflict. If there's no proper teamwork, you won't be able to manage your stress. You work in a team, and to be able to move forward, you need to make that team work. In each team is a leader, and it's not always necessarily the attorney. There's a lot of attorneys that's not good leaders. They're extremely good litigants. They're extremely good law people, but they're not good leaders. Somebody needs to take the lead and move forward. And it's not bad if you're not a leader. Not all of us can be leaders. Remember when you were small, we were playing cowboys and crooks. Everybody wants to be the cowboy, nobody wants to be the crook. Now that's the same. Everybody can't be the leader. Leaders are good, but I love the doers. That's the people that do the job. Let's do it. Let's start. Don't postpone. They're the hard workers. I prefer to appoint people that's doers, because I know I won't ever have a problem of lazy people. I don't have a problem with people fighting to become the best. They just want to do their job the best possible way. Then you get your carers. We need them as well. That's your HR people that care about other people, that sit down and think a little bit and say, you know what, we need to care about our staff members. We need to look after their health. We need to look after their happiness. That is your caring people. And then you get your thinkers. And your thinkers is that quiet people sitting there and you're busy with brainstorming and this person don't say anything. And eventually this person says, but what about this? And it's a brilliant idea. And you think, but why did you keep quiet all the time? A thinker is somebody that think about something and then rethink and then look at the pros and the cons and then think again and then think maybe I can say something, maybe not. And then eventually they say something. And you need in your team, you need a leader, you need a lot of doers, you need your caring people, and you need your thinkers. And if you've got all of that and everybody know where they fall in. And remember, a leader is not somebody that just dominant somebody else. A leader is somebody that can jump in and walk in front and do. A leader is supposed to be able to be a doer, a carer, and a thinker all in one. That's why not everybody can be a leader. Yes, everybody wants to be the boss, but it doesn't mean that boss is a leader. If you've got leadership skills and you can move forward with positive ways and get to the people in a team working together and manage your time and everybody's time and the conflict and the change and the stress, then you're a good leader. Okay, people, questions? Anybody? Alandi?
Yes, ma'am. I would just like to know, with the PI cover, would you, for instance, list your bookkeepers as the people that are mostly dealing or handling your trust monies?
Yes, your bookkeepers, all your directors, and then any staff member. Say, for instance, you working in a conveyancing firm and you apply, you complete the EFT request and add the banking details. You're in a situation that you can alter the banking details to your banking details. So staff members, previously we've even include the drivers that go to the bank to deposit money because they can be robbed on their way to the bank.
Yes.
So anybody that has got access to change the normal flow of trust money. If you've got a driver that don't even have a computer and you don't do cash banking, then you won't put that person on.
Okay.
But usually, yes, your bookkeepers, anybody working with the finances, and every staff member that prepare documents for any payout.
Would you then list all of them for the PI cover, or is it automatically?
Yes, you list them by name.
Oh, okay, I understand.
Because otherwise I come back and say, okay, my bookkeeper steal money, and they say, okay, you've got your Alta, did Alta steal the money? No. And then they tell you, sorry, we don't pay out because only Alta was covered. So you list each and every person by the name.
Okay.
Okay, another question.
Do you maybe have some tips to dealing with management of conflict and changes? The reason why I'm asking is I was newly appointed in the office administration position. And obviously, some of the people feel a bit iffy about it. Some is fine with it or whatever. How would you deal with the conflict on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, first of all, you need to make sure that I know if you sit with office management, you actually chained to your desk
Yeah.
because you've got so much to do. But take a time, walk through in the mornings when everybody's there, walk through, greet everybody, and just a little bit of chat. Don't go and have a big chat with them. Just greet them, ask them how they are, and then you go back to your office. Keep your eyes and ears open, but in that position, never, if somebody tell you something in confidence, never repeat it.
Yes.
Except if it's something that is in conflict with that the bosses have to know.
Yes,
But
yes.
you don't, whatever one person is saying, go and tell to somebody else. Don't tell the one person, yes, we're going to, I'm going to try and arrange a team building for us. And for the other person, you're going to tell that you need to help me to convince the boss to arrange a team building. What you tell one person, tell the other, they call it don't double dip.
Yeah.
And never, whenever you need to give somebody an instruction, never do it in a way that it seems that you think you're the boss. Ask them for help. To give you a good example, our director, we're working now together 27 years. She will pick up the phone and ask me, Alta, I need a book. Can I order the book? She's my boss. She can tell me, but she asks me.
Yes.
And that is the best way to actually give somebody an instruction, to ask them if they can do it. Do you have time? Can you please help me? Don't beg, but don't go to somebody and say, you need to do this. The moment that you say that, then there is a lot of stress.
Yes.
Go to that person and say, do you have time to help me quickly with this? I really need help. And they will eventually realize, I know exactly. The first time that I was appointed as an office manager, I was the youngest in the firm.
Yes, that's my position as well.
And that makes it very difficult.
Yes.
But by just play the cards, greet them when they, in the afternoons, whoever is walking past your office or wherever you sit, and you see them, say, ciao, enjoy your evening, or travel safe. And then the big thing is, whenever you need to talk to somebody, don't talk as if you look down on them.
Yes.
I found sometimes it was a good idea to sit down if there's an extra chair, to sit down and don't stand in front of them. Sit down and talk to them. Try not to call them to your office. Go to them, sit down and talk to them. That kind of relationship, I'm equal to you. They will realize you, the manager, but the way that you manage you will gain a lot from it.
Yes. And this is also now a bit off topic, but gossip in the office.
Ooh.
How do you nip that?
Now, I've done it once, but I don't know if that was a good idea, but it worked. The person came in and said, you know what, Brenda said this and this and this. And I said, oh dear, yeah, you won't believe she sat there and she said that and that. And I said, okay, just a second, have a seat. And I called Brenda and I said, Brenda, can you quickly come here? And when she walked in, I asked Renee, just repeat what you've said now. And that was the last of gossip in the office that I could hear.
Actually a very good idea because
Because the people, whenever they gossip, there's something untrue about it. And they won't repeat it in front of that person. I
Yes.
won't go and say, you know what, Renee's saying this and this about you. Don't stir something. But
Yes.
if they directly tell you something, just ask them there and call the other person and say, can you repeat what you told me now?
Yes.
And it will stop immediately.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Somebody else. Where's my people that I usually get questions from? Gina, you're so quiet.
I'm here, but I have no questions at the moment. Thank you.
I'm so used you always ask a question. Okay, anybody else wants to ask a question? Nobody. You can then all go home now. Okay, there is, okay, Gefilwe? You want to ask a question?
Yes, I do. Hi, everyone. How are you?
Good, good. And what is your
Good.
question?
I want to know, how do you deal with self-entitled employees?
You know what? That personality clashes is very difficult. First of all, never take it personally. Never. If somebody is like that and they've got that kind of attitude over you, don't take it personally. Just ignore it. If they try and give you instructions to do something, and that is where the opposite come from that I talked to Alandi with, that if that person comes to you and say, you have to do this and this, then you say, okay, I will do that. And are you going to help me? There is people that is really so think they God's gift to this office. And unfortunately, I know, and it is so difficult with all the personalities in the office. But the moment that you take it personally and that person see that you're upset about it, they will do it again. Don't give them the pleasure to see that they upset you. And then they will stop that entitlement that they've got because they see they don't upset you. That is a part of when they were younger, a bully. They want to do something and they want to see you cringe and they want you to see you feeling unhappy or you get angry. They want reaction from you. If you don't give them any reaction, they're not going to try you again.
I'll definitely remember that.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Hi there. It's
Hi.
Robin speaking there. Robin speaking here. How is everybody doing?
Good. And what do you have to tell us, Robin?
Right. I've been the practice manager and office manager for a small firm for about a year now. And
Yes.
one of the things I'm finding incredibly frustrating is obviously you dealing both with management as well as with staff. And how do you deal with a situation where you are completing your tasks and doing the things that have been requested of you, but your directors are actually not necessarily acknowledging, but they are not, for example, if you ask to do something with FICA and confirm right, this entity requires this type of documentation, that entity requires that they say, please give us questionnaires, please give us examples of what the various company documents look like, your CRR for 14.1 or whatever the case is.
Mhm.
And you do these things, but your bosses actually don't pay attention to the emails that you sending out the information they want or sending it out to the staff. And as a result of that, you sit in meetings and they continually query you about whether you've done something or not, which you actually have done. And it becomes a real frustration. And I'm battling with that terribly at the moment. How do you deal with that situation?
Okay, first of all, attorneys only read the first 2 lines of any email. If I get an answer to get attorneys to read more than 2 lines, I will make money. They just don't read emails. They read the first 2 paragraphs or the first 2 lines, and then they will tell you, okay, do this and this. And if they just read the 4th or the 5th line, they will see it's there. So what the best thing is, whenever you've compiled something, try and get them when they're in the office and say, I know that's difficult. Either early in the morning or just before they go home. Then, or make a formal appointment with him or her.
This is in relation to the whole group of directors. This is not necessarily in relation to one single director.
Yeah, I mean, but who's the worst one?
Oh, goodness. Would you like a list?
Then you go and sit and say, you know what? I've compiled all these things. I see you extremely busy. Can I send it out to all the staff members and manage this for you? Because that's your job. They kind of give you the job, but they want to hold your hands behind your back.
Exactly.
So all that you do, you tell them, you know what, I see you need to do that. I hope there's no boss in this course. You just tell them, you know what, I see you extremely busy and I don't want to waste your time. I've compiled all these things. Can I distribute it to all the staff members and make sure that everybody get this information? And then they kind of, yes, send it to me first. And say, okay, I'll send it to you. And then you can just let me know and I will do the rest. The moment that they think you there, that you recognize they're so busy, and most of the time you're more busy than them, but you actually offer to do that. But that's your job. They just don't realize it yet.
Yeah.
And with time, they will start giving you instructions or a specific task, and they will leave it to you. They're not comfortable that you will do it. They're not sure because they understand FICA not at all.
Exactly.
They want to concentrate on law. They don't worry about FICA and all these other stuff. That's your worries, but they still want to control it. So just go and say, I've done everything. I've sent you an email just before I left my office, and but I see you extremely busy. Will it help if I distribute it to the staff and get all the information? And then I do FICA training as well. And if you want to attend the training and say, I've done this course, I can give all the FICA training to the staff as well. And something like that, but give them an idea that you see they're very, very busy. And you want to help them. Then you kind of get a soft spot there that you can scratch, because otherwise they read the first 2 lines and they sit in a meeting and say, but you didn't do it. And you said, yeah, but I've emailed you.
Yeah.
And I said, I didn't receive that email. I talk out of experience.
I hear you. I hear you.
So,
Also, maybe a suggestion, like we do at our firm, we have monthly management meetings, and our managing director is the one that sort of gives the okay for everything. So I would, in the management meetings, prepare whatever I would want them to okay. I would give it to them in the meeting, and I would also, if it's urgent, I would tell them I need an answer by the end of the meeting. Otherwise, I will ask the managing director to provide me with confirmation.
okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's easier said than done. I mean, we have a
Yes.
weekly directors meeting, and 99.9% of the time, the office manager is the only one giving any updates on work done.
Yeah, it's what it actually is. The directors' meetings or management meetings is usually come and tell us what you do with your day.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Because they don't think you're working. But get somebody, if the one director don't fall for that joke, try the next one. And I've at one stage made a suggestion to a director, and it was a immediate, no, that kite is not going to fly. Okay. And then I start with little tidbits that I feed him. And eventually, the one day he said, you know what, Olga, I think we need to do this and this. And I look at him and say, you're
Fabulous
so
idea.
good that you think about it. But I was the one feeding him the information all the time.
I
I
don't
was
mean
the
to
one-
sound terrible to the other gentlemen in this session, but it works on husbands as well.
Sorry for the gentleman. Maybe you sit with the same problem with you, with women.
I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Because let me tell you, my husband is doing it with me. Give me all the tidbits, and when I get the idea, he said, that was a good idea. And then I realized, oops, it was his idea from the beginning.
Yeah, you've got to be very resilient as an office or practice manager.
Yeah.
I must be honest. You've really got to have thick skin.
Yeah, never take anything personal. And yeah, eventually you get them on your side.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Okay, anybody else? Nobody? Okay, then we're going to have it, the session for today is then over, and I will talk to you again.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Enjoy your evening.
You too, thank you.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Have
Bye.
a wonderful one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers.